Today I'm come here to Cambodia at this time to be the trainer for the workshop on AWP 2019.
I joined this workshop as a trainer with my colleague Mr. Fu and also with other trainers from Vigo University, Laura and Marcos, and also Lionel from University of Nantes and Chayan from University of Chiang Mai. And we have 22, right? 22 trainees from some Asian country like Cambodia, Myanmar, Thailand, and they have a wide range of expertise from the social science to the environmental science, ecology and anthropology.
We have discussed to each other and we choose the topic about the transboundary river management and water governance. And we try to focus how to manage the transboundary river problem around the ASEAN country. And also we discussed some topics about the law, the politics, and about the economics. And also we try to build some model about how to control the risk and to manage the risk about the transboundary river project.
Yeah. One thing very important is the tool. You know, the game theory tool, a very new thing in Vietnam, and also I think it is a very effective tool to solve the conflict between different users. Yeah, you know, in Vietnam and some other Asian country, Mekong River is a transboundary sources of water. So a lot of users, they have different purpose. And then we have to harmonize their interest. And we introduce the very effective tool, game theory. First of all, we have to select the idea from different participants, and then we have to decide whether it can fit the theme of the whole program. And then we have to work together in order to build the agenda. We have reviewed the agenda like 10 times or more, even more I think. And then we have to discuss with each other to develop the activity, also the content, and also how to run it smoothly, right? In fact, we have to combine both theoretical knowledge and also the practical knowledge. In such a thing, we have to apply some soft skill for them. They have to work in group, and also they have to decide how to solve the problem in the case study. They have to cope with each other, and then they have to know how to apply such a tool effectively. And of course, during the theory, we have some activity for them, like the morning exercise, so that everybody can wake up after the very long session of lecture.
So I'm in charge of developing what we call WS2 Workshop number 2, which is related to maritime policy development in ASEAN and the EU, which is a bit like a comparison of how maritime policies are developed in both regions of the world. What is very interesting is that both regions have very different experiences, and I think we can learn a lot from each other. So my profile basically is in logistics. I've been involved very much in logistics policy development in Southeast Asia. And in this particular workshop, I think we are very lucky to have colleagues from Université de Nantes, Southern Denmark University, from Vigo University in Spain, where they all bring in their experiences. And also, we also have another colleague from Vietnam Maritime University, who will share how maritime policy is being developed in Vietnam itself. So I think it's a good mix with strong people from a methodological perspective, but also people with practical experiences in terms of how policies are actually developed. So the main objective of this workshop is to have participants familiarize themselves with a number of academic, scientific research methods that could be used for policy development. So we'll talk about, for example, the Q methodology, which is relatively a novel methodology, more on the qualitative side. We'll talk about stated preference methodology. We'll talk also about case studies, because case studies give you a fuller context in terms of understanding what is the current situation, so that policies that are developed can help respond to the specific need of a specific sector. So trainees that we have primarily are from Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, but also this year we have some trainees from Myanmar, which I think is something that is very good because they're opening up. And what is very important is for them to be able to not only learn about methodology or familiarize themselves with how policies are developed, but also in terms of exchanging knowledge and ideas between them. There's a lot of things that can be learned when you're in a group and when you have group discussion, and they all have a very diverse background, diverse interests, and the challenge will be for the facilitators to keep everyone interested in the topic. The idea here is that when, for example, we teach or we share the methodology, is first of all explain the theoretical aspect first, and then a very hands-on approach where they will be able to do practical exercises so that they understand how it works. They will not become expert overnight, but at least they will be familiar with these methods and they know how it can be used. So it's really more about giving them a suite of tools so that they know that if they have to work in a similar topic, they know where to start. And I think that's the most important part.
My background is on water environmental engineering, and in here I will join as a trainer for the workshop 3 in the Asian Water Platform 2019.
So I'm Edouard, I'm from France, and so I work in Vietnam at RMIT. I'm a computer scientist specialized in agent-based model. And so me, Kong, and also Quang and Nhi from Cantor University we'll do a workshop about flood in the region, and we're gonna use agent-based model, specifically a platform called Gamma that is open source.
Yeah, and again, at the same time, I will introduce also what is the flooding in Phnom Penh city, and also my experience to use the hydrological model for just simulating of the flood in the Phnom Penh city for the first day, and then we try to inform to the trainee how they want them to understand how the floodings occur and how we simulate the natural phenomena to the computer-based.
So yeah, for that we have designed the workshop to work in 5 days. Yeah. So the first 1 day and a half would be mostly about theory. So initially there will be an introduction from Kong about hydrological model and flooding. So maybe you can say a few words about that.
Yeah, for hydrological and also combined with the drainage system modeling, that we use the rainfall data and put into the modeling, and then we want to see how is the spread of waters in Phnom Penh's specific zone, and to see how much depth of water will be increasing after flood in the city.
Yeah. So after this introduction to this real data and all the information from hydrology, yeah, we will have about a day about the agent-based modeling. So with I would say a gentle introduction to what is modeling, what is agent-based, all the main concepts. And then we'll get a bit practical to show them how we built a model, how it works, what are the main techniques over there. And progressively we'll go more into detail, and we will end in the middle of the second day to present the projects, so ideas of projects for the trainee to select, or also for them to come up with their own ideas based on what they learned so far.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a pleasure to be here, of course, as a part of the WANASI team. I'm Miquel Salgot from the University of Barcelona, Spain. I am a professor of soil science and agricultural chemistry, and we proposed the subject of wastewater reclamation and reuse in the framework of the non-conventional resources, which are taking more and more importance all over the world. For that reason, we have a team with Bore Bore, which is, I think, is from here, a French lady from Montpellier, and a colleague of mine of my university. So we will develop the subject in a more non-conventional way, which is mainly part of the course will be as the classical one, for, courses, of course, but another part is personal work of every student. And finally, it will be a kind of theater where the students will act as if they were stakeholders or employers, civil servants and the like. So we will focus on several points of view, for example, economy, health, engineering and others, and we feel that our 20 or 25 students will be comfortable with that different way of working.
I'm from the Frank School of Far East in Ho Chi Minh City. And together with me in the trainer team this year is Olivier Tessier from the Frank School of Far East, and Pierre Lemaire from the French Institute of Development Research, and Daewon Assens from the University of South Denmark. So we are all the trainers of the one of the workshops organized in Phnom Penh this year of the Asian Water Platforms, and the workshop is called Anthropological Research Methodologies. So our workshop will welcome about 20 trainees. They are coming from different institutions, from research and academy, from different countries in Southeast Asia, including Vietnam, Myanmar, Cambodia, and Laos. So our workshop, basically, when we talk about anthropological methodology, so it's a field trip-based workshop. So it's not only about doing lectures in the classroom, but we are going to take people to the field, like to the case that they are going to see it and feel it by themselves and practice their techniques of interviews. So the case this year is chosen is about 40 kilometers from Phnom Penh, and it's called Kandan Stones. It's an irrigation system built by projects several years ago, and it has been a pilot case where we could actually investigate on different issues, including farming systems, irrigations, and related issues, even including the influence of industrializations or even urbanization in the area. So we are starting soon on Sunday to move to the fields, and then we will start with the first investigations at the authority levels. And then afterward, we will divide it into group of twos, and then two of the trainees together with interpreter, if they are not local, which are Cambodians, will do interviews with the farmers and people in the area to understand the issue better, at the same time practicing their interview techniques. The technique we are introducing is not questionnaire by itself, but it's more semi-structured interview. So it's more guiding the interview in the way that you are exploring the situation, but also at the same time giving a flexibility that you also change it in the way when you realize certain issues that it does not fit from your previous agenda. At the end of the training like this, we expect that the biggest objective is for the people to get familiar with the techniques, and maybe some of them will get further in kind of mastering the technique and to feel comfortable to use it in their future research. So it's one of the objective of the WANA-C project to build the capacity of research within our institutions in the project partners. The other one, like at the end, we also would like to have the kind of preliminary results that we could discuss with all other trainees in the AWP. So in that way, it might be a reason, but sometimes it could also be a research question. So field trip, like this case, most of the time it's more like exploratory. So, and maybe at the end of it, you will formulate a research question for further following up research. So this workshop actually has been based on the experience that which has more than 10 years experience that has been organized in another project which were basically based in Vietnam. It's called Tam Dao Day, and it's continued with the broader scale, with the South Asia scale in WANA-C project.